As India and New Delhi is gearing up for the G20 summit, the heads of different countries will start to arrive in New Delhi from 8th of September. So let's look at the regional and international groupings that are also invited to attend the G20 summit by India. Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the regional and international groupings that are invited as guests in the G20 summit, which will be taking place in New Delhi on 9th and 10th of September. So let us look at the timeline first. First we'll be looking at the news, that is the G20 summit. Then what are the regional organizations or the international organizations that have been invited as guests by India to take part in the G20 summit, which will be held in Delhi. Then in the end, a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is international grouping. So the news talks about G20 summit. Who are the regional and international groupings invited as guests? So the New Delhi will host the 18th annual G20 Heads of State and Government Summit at Bharat Mandapam at Pragati Maidan on September 9th and 10th. And this Bharat Mandapam at Pragati Maidan has recently been unveiled, and this was especially prepared for the G20 summit. And the arrival of the heads of state or government from all the G20 members will take place on 8th of September. But there are 3 heads of state which will not be attending the summit, and that is the Russian president, that is Vladimir Putin, as the ICC has issued a warrant against Mr. Putin. Then China's president Xi Jinping and Mexico's president, that is Andres Lopez Obrador. And apart from them, there are 3 regional and 3 international groupings that have also been invited by India to take part as guest in the G20 summit. So we will be talking about the 3 regional and 3 international organizations. So 3 international and 3 regional. So first of all, let's take a look at the 3 regional organizations. And first of the organization is the African Union. So the African Union is invited as guest to attend the G20 summit by India. And African Union was launched formally in the year 2002, and the declaration through which African Union was formed is Third Declaration. So the declaration through which African Union was formed is Third Declaration, and 2002 is the year in which it was formally launched. I'm not saying it was formed, I'm saying it was formally launched. And it is an intergovernmental organization. It means all the governments of the different countries of the African continent comes together and form this organization, and the 55 members of the African continent are the member countries of the African Union. Until the time democracy is there in a country in Africa, that country can become a part of the African Union. If there is military coup taking place or presidential rule taking place, then that country does not form a part of the African Union. So all the 55 countries of the African continent are members of the African Union. And one of the aims of the African Union is to achieve greater unity and solidarity between African countries and their people, so that the people of the African continent or the countries of the African continent can be together, and as a continent they can prosper in different ways, like economic ways, social ways, political ways. And it is likely that African Union will become the 21st member of the G20 during this year's Leaders Summit. It is not confirmed till now. It is likely that African Union might become the 21st member of the G20. Then the second regional organization that is invited as guest in the G20 by India is the AUDA-NEPAD, that is African Union Development Agency, New Partnership for Africa's Development. African Union Development Agency and New Partnership for Africa's Development, that is AUDA and NEPAD. So this organization came into existence in the year 2018, and AU, that is African Union, earlier it was only African Union, so the African Union decided to transform the New Partnership for Africa's Development Planning and Coordination Agency into the AUDA. So see, African Union thought of transforming the New Partnership for Africa's Development, that is NEPAD, into the AUDA NEPAD. So earlier they were different, but then they came together and formed AUDA NEPAD. And the purpose of AUDA and NEPAD is to coordinate and execute priority regional and continental projects in Africa to realize Agenda 2023. And Agenda 2023 is an ambitious project of Africa in which they want the economic prosperity for the continent. Now about the third regional grouping that has been invited is the ASEAN, that is the Association of Southeast Asian Nation. Southeast Asian Nation. Southeast, that is, for example, the countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Brunei, Indonesia. So ASEAN was established in the year 1967 and it is considered to be a political and economic union of 10 member states in Southeast Asia. Political and economic, these two words are very specifically written. Political and economic, they will work towards the betterment of economic for both the countries or all the 10 countries, and political stability also. And then let's talk about the founding members of the ASEAN, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. So these are the founding members of ASEAN, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. So these 5 countries are founding members, and after that the country that joined was Brunei, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia. So 5 are the founding members and 5 countries joined later. And the objective of ASEAN is accelerating economic growth so that economic prosperity can take place in the 10 ASEAN countries, social progress and cultural development in the Southeast Asian countries, because to move a country forward, social progress is of utmost importance, and promoting regional peace and stability in the region, because the political stability and the economic stability is very important for whole of the region or the continent also, so that all the countries can come together and can contribute into each other's economic prosperity, so that not one country, it is all the countries can move forward in a positive and accelerating direction. Now we are done with the 3 regional groupings. Now it's time for 3 international organizations that has been invited. First of all is the ISA, that is the International Solar Alliance. And International Solar Alliance is very special to us because the idea of the formation of the International Solar Alliance was given by India, and the headquarters of International Solar Alliance is also located in India, that is Gurugram. So International Solar Alliance is a treaty-based intergovernmental organization. It is also an intergovernmental organization launched in the year 2016 with 2 partnering countries, that is India, which moved the idea of formation of the ISA, and second is the France. And the aim of the ISA is to provide a dedicated platform for cooperation among solar resource rich countries. Solar resource rich countries, it means the countries which are having good solar resource, and the wider global community to support the increasing use of solar energy, and all the countries which are part of it, they promote the use of solar energy. Till now 116 countries are signatory to the ISA framework agreement, and the ISA website talks about this 116 countries. And 94 countries out of 116 countries have submitted the necessary instruments of ratification to become full members of the ISA. So 116 countries are signatory, while out of 116 countries, 94 countries have submitted to be full members of the International Solar Alliance. Now, second coalition or the second international organization is CDRI, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, that is a coalition will be formed, then that coalition will work towards the formation of the disaster resilient infrastructure, that if any kind of disaster or natural disaster takes place, then they need to form the infrastructure that is disaster resilient. That infrastructure can actually tolerate that disaster, and it was founded in the year 2019, and it is a coalition of national governments, UN agencies and programs, multilateral development banks, private sector and educational institutes. So all the private, public and civil societies are coming together for its formation, and the aim is to promote new and existing disaster resilient infrastructures, so that if the already present disaster resilient infrastructure, they needs to be maintained properly, and new structures that are formed and that will be formed should be disaster resilient. Then the organization also seeks to increase awareness about such infrastructures. So the disaster resilient infrastructure awareness needs to increase among the people and increase the availability of technical assistance and improve capacities. So the technical assistance, it means the technical knowledge that we need for the formation of the disaster resilient infrastructure, that needs to be improved and that needs to be shared. Now talking about the third international organization that is invited is the Asian Development Bank, and that is ADB. So the ADB was formed in the year 1966, so it is an old organization, and it works to promote the economic and social progress of its developing member countries in the Asia Pacific region. So as the name itself has bank, so we can actually guess that it might be working, and it is actually working towards the economic progress of the Asia Pacific region. And till now it has 68 members, and its headquarters is present in Manila, Philippines. So it has 68 members and headquarters is in Manila, Philippines. India holds the shares which is 6.317% with 5.3% voting right. So percentage is different and voting right is different. Share is 6.317% while voting right is 5.347%. And the country which holds the largest share are Japan and US. Japan and USA represent the largest shareholders, which is followed by China and India. So if the question is asked that where is the headquarters of ADB, it is Manila, Philippines. It has already been asked, it is a PYQ. And then who holds the highest percentage of shareholding, that is Japan and US. India and China follows. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. So the question says, and it is also a UPSC PYQ. In which one of the following groups are all the 4 countries members of G20? All the 4 countries are members of G20. And nowadays we are seeing that UPSC is actually asking this kind of question. So A. Argentina, Mexico, South Africa and Turkey. B. Australia, Canada, Malaysia and New Zealand. C. Brazil, Iran, Saudi Arabia and Vietnam. And D. Indonesia, Japan, Singapore and South Korea. Because the G20 is taking place in India, it becomes important to know about the countries which are part of the G20 grouping. So because there are high chances that a question might be asked from the G20, because India is chairing the G20, India is hosting the G20. So try to solve this question and give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.